Welcome to another episode of Base 718 Cayman story here on forevermanual, and welcome to the very first episode behind the table. I normally drive the cars or at least walk around them, but today I have to sit down and talk you through my spec. I've put the Porsche code for my car in the description for this video. By tapping the link you can open the configurator and follow the entire episode from within. It's a great opportunity to say a couple of words about configurator itself. It's gotten a little better recently, starting with introduction of 25th anniversary Boxster. Picture quality and color accuracy have been markedly improved, but it's still nowhere near to what we had back in 991 days. Back then I could render the video and it would show all the personalized features like deviating stitching or contrasting leather trim. Today the configurator gives you only the rough idea of what your car will look like. I think I could go further into personalization, but I want to see the final results. I don't like big guessing. Of course, there is a Porsche AR app and it's quite nice to see the car in details, but again it's not very accurate in displaying all of the personalization features. So yeah, Porsche could and should do better here. Alright, I've already explained my choice of body type. If you haven't seen that, there is a dedicated episode on why my Cayman isn't a Boxster. And by the way, I have to make a correction. In a previous video I stated that the production of 718 splits 60-40 in a favor of a coupe. That was true for 2019 and I wrote the script based on those numbers. But as I finally got to see the production statistics for 2020, I saw that the trend has changed. The output of historical Zuffenhausen factory was dramatically redistributed in a favor of a Boxster by 1/3. So by the end of 2020, the Roadster became the most popular body type. Hooray for Boxster fans. Okay. I also hope to make a standalone episode on all the things I don't like about S-Model. There's plenty, so please keep subscribing and hitting the bell to get notified when the new story pops up. Long story short, if you want an S-Model, that means you probably aim more to the performance side of the 718 character instead of just pure everyday usability. And if you can afford S-Model with options, that means that GTS 4.0 lays within your reach. And that one you should go for because it's not only better as a performance car, but it also gives you a greater sense of occasion, and its flat 6 natural aspirated engine makes it more significant by the standards of good old Porsche values. My car, however, it's all about everyday driving without being pretentious. Alright, colors. There are some I call celebration colors, anything that attracts attention to your Porsche. More settled ones prevent it from happening, and that's my way. White is very purposeful color. It's a reflective car, it's a hot climate car, and both black and white are most difficult for keeping clean, and I'm too lazy to have those. I want my car to maintain its presence regardless being clean or dirty. I had a favorite color from the original 2016 Plaid, graphite blue. Unfortunately it was dropped when the 991 generation left production. My choice of aventurine green follows pretty much the same idea of having a gray car but with a little bit of color tone added to it. I appreciate the way it changes its tone, getting warmer under the yellow sun and cooler under cloudy sky. It's also great to have a color which allows you to easily identify the model year. For instance, if you see the 718 in graphite blue, you can tell this is the early production car, and aventurine green only became available in 2020. 2021 actually has its own signature color, shark blue, which became available at the beginning of GT3 992 production. To be honest, I wouldn't mind to have that one, but the rest of the special colors, they don't fit into my paradigm of keeping a low profile. Alright, to pick a paint to sample option would be ridiculously expensive, makes no sense for base model, and my dealer told me that ordering a PTS car extends the waiting time for a good year. Moving on to wheels, this is simple. Many people consider 18s ugly. For me they look business. This is the motorsport size. All racing Porsches perform on 18s and they also give me the most of the comfort. 19s. That's one of the problems with the S model. It comes with the 19s as standard, and there are no great design in this size, in my opinion. There are some good designs on 20-inch wheels though, and they can be painted from the factory. However, they make the small brakes look pathetic, especially at the rear. You don't get more grip because the width and diameter of the tire is exactly the same. The ride comfort gets worse with the larger wheels, and the only benefit is sharper reaction to the steering inputs. And this is exactly why I wouldn't go for a T model, because as soon as you get everything what comes with a T model, the car gets heavier, the car gets stiffer, and the chassis gets way sportier than the engine. And the harmony in which they coexist on a base model disappears. Another reason of not having a T model is the poor choice of the colors. Okay, all these options below are not available with my choice of base wheels, and the wheel caps with colored badges, they're actually cheaper if you buy them later. Before moving on, I would like to show you something. Many of you know exactly what this is. It's a part of so-called PCM Delete option. This shelf replaces the multimedia system on the central console. It's not available for standard Caymans from the factory. It's the prerogative of GT4 and T model. It's famous among hardcore GT2 and GT3 owners who are chasing every single gram of excessive weight. I fell in love with it after driving 911R, although I appreciate it not exactly for weight saving, but rather solving all my problems with PCM. You see, I don't listen to any music in the car at all. Also, the installing on the shelf is a great anti-aging procedure. I believe that nothing goes out of fashion faster than electronic gadgets. And that's why, for instance, I call 992 the car of today, because it's relevant only as long as its virtual cockpit is. The great thing about this particular architecture of 718 is that it allows you to control all the functions of PCM via small dash display and this old school lever. Anyway, I wouldn't call it a functional decision. I'm not trying to save weight because, for instance, all the speakers remain where they are. It's more of the styling cue, as well as these little fellows. These are part of trim plastic for GT steering wheel. What I'm trying to do is I'm building myself a T model, the way I understand it. And on this picture, I'm leaving you for now, but we'll come back to this within a couple of weeks, I hope. So thank you for watching. Subscribe, hit the bell, and I'll see you next time.